And I'm finally here with Bianca. I'm so glad because this has like been a long time coming. So give me a freaking hug, girl. It's been forever.
I know, the 3-hour road trip. Bus is not too bad. I love the mega bus. FYI, if anybody needs to take the bus anywhere, please take the mega bus over the Greyhound. It's nicer, it's cleaner, it's cheaper, and it's more comfortable.
Yeah, Greyhound is like a nightmare kind of.
You would literally think I just got sponsored by a mega bus or something.
Right. Well, I mean, you are good at like promoting, so
yay,
it would fit.
It's just natural. I should hit them up. Do you guys need a promoter for your buses?
Promoter for mega bus, along with everything else. That's hilarious. So let's see if we can fight this traffic. Hey, look, it is
I told you it was like a church situation.
Yeah.
So for people that can't see, there is loud noises coming from across the street at the bus station, and it is it's some sort of religious-based thing.
Yeah, there's like people dressed in purple, so it has to be like something like that. And I hope these couches don't fall.
Oh my God. Here. And now there are 2 big couches in front of us that we're hoping that does not fall.
Yeah, and it's weird the way they have them strapped in. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think that's how you're supposed to hold couches or like tow them.
Yeah, because one of them looks like it's just ready to
give
up.
Yeah, that one's just gonna, oh my God.
Look at that.
Couch
and I have to go this way. That's what sucks.
I'm just gonna say I quit. Bye.
Right. I'm done with life.
Yeah, we're breaking up. Goodbye.
Literally, they're breaking up.
No, that was the meme that I like sent in. We have a group chat aside from promo because I had to separate it. So we have wild ATX and we have wild bullshit.
Yeah,
so,
we
like,
have that in Trovo.
It makes
everybody
like,
needs a chat like that.
Because then everything was getting like kind of just like the important stuff was getting like washed away with like the just the, you know, the funny stuff.
It was all getting too much stuff was getting mixed too much.
But it was like a screenshot and it was like I am Y and the person was like, you know, it means more if you like spell it out, and the guy was like, what did he say? I don't know what was like. I think it was like I miss your, or no, ILY. It said ILY. And he was like, oh my God, it means so much more if you spell it out. And it said it I'm leaving you.
Oh wow. Usually you would think it says I love you or whatever.
That's why it was the greatest thing I wrote. Like,
I like
oh
that,
my
though.
God. I hit Cody with the ILY.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, funny story, everybody. I'm not dating Cody Riggs.
Everybody should know this by now,
No,
but I guess they don't.
They don't. They think that I'm dating.
Assume.
They think I'm dating Cody Riggs and or J Kim, and it is never thought that I own a part of our company.
No.
Oh snap! Here's a Starbucks.
But I wonder. Hold on. Did they have a drive-thru? Wait, where is Star?
It's like right down this
They don't
corner.
have a
Maybe
okay.
Is there not? What's this around back area? No.
Let's see.
No, they don't.
Okay, so.
We're about to put a pause on this.
No, we don't have to. We can look for another one. Well, let's go to where your friend's at.
Oh, the memorial area? Okay, yeah, just go that way.
This way?
The memorial area. Do you want to get in that area?
Yeah. Which I know how to get in the area. Well, from downtown it's kind of hard because I never know how to get to anywhere when I'm downtown.
Or you just gotta like hit I-10.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
but same. I'm like, yeah, geographically when I get into Houston, I'm like, where the freak am I?
Yeah.
It's funny, like in Austin, I can tell you exactly where anything is, north, south, east, west, like at east, west.
Did you say east?
Yeah, I noticed. I was like, wait, where did that H come from?
That's funny.
I can tell you exactly where anything is as far as like that. Houston, I do not know why. Nothing. Cannot tell you. Cannot commute. Cannot give any sort of like directions at all.
And see, surprisingly, I'm good with freeways. Like, I know where 610 is, I-10, you know, 45, like, all of them. Like, I know, like, Beltway. But it's getting to certain places where I'm like, fuck, like, where is this place at again? But
no, same. Like, and especially with all the, you know, I've been around for, oh my gosh, as far as, like, the music and starting out was in Houston for almost 10 years now. It's crazy to think that. So, you know, back then, it was like Orbit Room, it was, you know, whenever we did have the Meridian, you know, and then if it wasn't those things, it was, you know, it was warehouses off of Canal Street, and it's just, you know, it was a generalized area that you knew, you know, where everything was. Now, I have no idea where anything is, like, no clue. When someone's like, we're gonna go to this venue, I'm like, what the freak is that, and where is that at?
Yeah, and it's crazy, because, like, in the span of even just 10 years, Houston's changed, like, a lot.
Yeah.
Even, like, my area, like, even the outer areas, like, Humble and like the North Shore Channelview area.
So you grew up over there?
Yeah, I grew up at the North Shore Channelview area, so that's directly east of Houston.
So I'm from Crosby.
Oh, cool. So yeah, like you're maybe like 20 minutes.
No, yeah. I grew up.
So you knew my area. You're the only person who fucking knew my area.
No, yeah,
nobody in the scene.
North Shore, dude. North Shore all the way. And on FYI, this year the North Shore team has been doing phenomenal. Their sports have been killing it. And for if you don't know about North Shore,
football?
it is not, you know, it's not the nicest or, you know, one of the best areas, but, you know, I will say it's very diverse.
It is.
It's, you know, I grew up around that area, and I have family. So majority of my family lives in Sugar Land. So that's where my great grandma lives. She's 98, still around.
Wow.
One of the baddest, literally the baddest bitches I know.
Still
the only reason
kicking.
I am who I am is because of my great grandma. So
Oh,
shout out to grandma.
That's sweet. Wait, feel free to do as
my
many
grandma
shots.
and my great grandma. But yeah, so like, you know, areas like, you know, North Shore, from there to Crosby, and then and anything in between, and then to Sugarland. That's all, you know. That sort of demographic of people is all I know about. You know, and it's predominantly, you know, well, I don't want to say like predominantly Hispanic and, you know, African American, but it's very diverse. It's more diverse than
most areas.
Yeah, than most areas, I want to say.
Because in Humboldt you'll see more like Caucasian.
Yeah.
Then.
Because I went to, so when I started college, I started at Kingwood. So I went to the Lone Star campus at Kingwood, which was great. I will say Lone Star College, or community college, is probably one of the best schools to start out with if you don't want to go straight into a university, because that was my biggest thing. Was, you know, I didn't have all of what I needed to transfer into, you know, a university, and it was already overwhelming coming from a small town, small school.
Right.
So, you know.
And Crosby grew a lot too, like since I last went there, because they built that little bridge that goes over the
so like
tracks.
I'm 28. I've been in Crosby since I was 9, and they've been working on 90, and like a couple of years ago, 90, you know, is now there. So it's wild for me to see these things that I've been watching, you know, like start from the legit bottom and then see where it's at now. And that's with anything, with, you know, buildings, you know, highways, people, companies, everything. It's mind blowing.
And you know, even like for the belt, you know, you're familiar with the Beltway, of course. So they even going towards like Deer Park, they're making it 3 lanes now, and I'm like, holy fuck.
As long as they don't make it like China, where there's like 25 lanes that merge into 2.
Yes, that's fucking crazy.
Did you see that? That was terrifying.
I was like, how do you even do it? Like, how did they function?
No, I have no idea. Like, you'd have to be in hours of traffic. Like, there's no way to get out of any of that.
Yeah, it's insane.
You're like,
I'd be scared for my life.
You're like, hey, work, I gotta leave 7 hours early so I can get home.
just
to see my family.
It's like pretty much they're going to and from work. They just have to stop home for like food and then shower, maybe a little sleep in bed.
I would just work in my car.
Yeah, right? That's pretty much, that's pretty much what you're doing. Well, just do Uber, I guess.
I have no idea.
Do they have that on there?
I was wondering the same thing.
Yeah, I wonder if they have that. You'd think they might. Well, they gotta have something like Favor, because, I mean, everybody fucking, like, eats over there and probably...
I feel like over there they eat more than us. I feel like everywhere else but here is healthier.
Shit, it's kind of
Sorry.
Could you get...
US.
Well, never mind. It actually kind of fit itself in place. That's the first time it's ever done that.
Yay!
Nice. So, yeah, I mean, that's really cool that you're, like, you grew up in Crosby. Because, like, nobody knows our area, like, at all.
No, they don't. Like,
I'll ask, and I'll be like, oh,
no, this is what I say. I'm like, do you remember when there was the hurricane and that plant blew up? Everyone's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, sweet. 10 minutes down the road, that's where I'm from. Or, like, I have to be like, okay, so do you know where Baytown is?
Yeah, that's exactly what I have to do.
No, and
they assume you live way out
15, there. No, yeah, it's like solid 15, 20 minutes away still, and it's like, okay, cool. So then there's a road, and like trying to backtrack, giving them directions to like where I'm from. I'm like, so then I learned to say southeast.
Yeah, see, because I wasn't sure it was just like I always called it directly east, because I mean we are east since we're going. Like if you go to Baytown, that takes you to Louisiana, and that's like going east, you know. Yeah. So I assumed it was just east, but. Yeah, people say southeast a lot, so I'm like kind of torn.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. I have no idea. Like Austin, I can tell you where all those things are, but here I'm like, I think I live south. Maybe it was southeast. Maybe it was east.
Yeah, we don't know where the hell we are.
Yeah, no, I don't. And honestly, I never know where I'm at or what's going on.
And it's funny because like it's just like I have to explain that like to people when they ask, like, what side of town do you live on? Oh, the east side. And
everyone like, freaking knows where Sugarland is, where my grandma lives, but nobody knows where freaking Crosby is.
Right, and I know where that's at too. I mean, I have a friend that lives there as well, but it's like I have to tell them, okay, do you know where the Budweiser plant is?
No, yeah.
And they're like, yeah, and I'm like, I live maybe 5 minutes past there, and that's it. Like,
it's funny how like we have to like say these like just generalized things or areas or
just so they get the hint.
Do you know where this building is?
Right.
Great.
So it's you remember where that person got stabbed at and it was a big deal? Yeah, that's
yeah. I was like right there. Yeah, that's me. Or like I love it because I never think that anybody knows where Crosby is. So whenever someone's like, I'm like, oh, I grew up in like a small grass farm town, blah blah blah. They're like, where or what's the name? In my head, I'm like, why? You don't know where it is. And when someone's like, oh, I know where that is, I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's surprising, and like you're like
we
the first.
exist.
Exactly, you're like the first fucking person to like surprise me like ever. So that's a cut for run first.
When you're like you said North Shore, I'm like, yo.
Yeah, and like North Shore won the fucking state.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm growing up, it used to be a joke, you know, because of like that area, but like that. I mean, there have always been talented people from there. I've had you know friends, whether it was musicians or athletes. Like I hate when people underestimate you know others from just like because of just something so small like you know where I'm from.
The thing is still on. Sorry. Fuck. I think it's on. Yeah, it's on. Okay, cool. I'm just making sure. I always get paranoid that the microphone runs out of battery.
Oh no.
But it's lasted like so long, so I guess.
When do you like switch out the batteries? How does that work? I didn't know it ran on batteries.
I haven't switched it in like 6 years.
The batteries?
Like literally, yeah. Like for some reason it works on the mic, but because you said that, I'm gonna switch it. Like very, like probably.
You're like actually.
Yeah, like I need to switch it soon because I mean, it could go out.
I'm like, what batteries last 6 years?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I mean,
if so, I need to borrow those.
Yeah.
For my life.
Well, see, I only have one. I don't know where the other fucking ones went. I think I might have some in there, either in here or at my house. But they're somewhere. Okay, so now I just need to find a Starbucks, which I know we can find one in Memorial area.
Oh yeah, of course. You know what I mean?
See, everybody knows where this fucking area is at.
No, exactly. And that's like what's crazy. So when someone's like, oh, do you know where Katie is? I'm like, that's nowhere near. Do you know that's nowhere near downtown, right?
Exactly.
Like that's nowhere near like Houston. And then I love explaining to people like the greater Houston area. I love explaining, do you know that if you're downtown and you literally go like an hour out in each direction, you are essentially still in Harris County.
Yes. Because that's like one of the biggest counties in the nation.
Like, and it's not a joke. When you tell someone, you know, if you've ever been to jail in Harris County, everyone's face is like, oh my god, how'd you survive?
I know, and it's not even a prison.
Yeah, I know, right? It's not. That's what I've had people like, you know, homies that like have gone, you know, done a hard time that are like, no, like we are terrified of Harris County, and I'm like, what the fuck? Yo, that is. Someone says like a freaking mansion tent over there.
Mansion tent?
I'm not even joking. There was like it was like a mansion tent.
That's funny, yeah, because over there, they used to have the Beatles statues, which I loved so much. Like, they had all of them, and then they moved them to, like, somewhere else downtown, which I found, because, like, it's kind of cool, like, this guy that, I guess, owns his own, like, art, like, warehouse, he, like, makes big-ass statues of, like...
See, so I know where that warehouse is, where all those statues are.
Yeah.
I had a friend that, like, it was, like, years ago, though, but he was living there, I think, like, where you're talking, but it was freaking insane. Like, those places like that, like, those industrial, you know what I mean, like, those, like, spaces I am obsessed with. Like, I hope one day to be able, like, my dream is to, like, own a badass, like, industrial warehouse looking, like, loft above something.
Oh, yeah.
It's like when I was in New York, which I frequent a lot now, like, a lot more so in the past 2 years because of our friends that are up there, the Visions guys, so shout out to Visions NYC.
Did you live in New York?
No, we just, I think that I met Black Sheep, Richie.
Oh yeah,
I met him right before last South by, and then we just like stayed friends, and you know they were coming down for last South by, and we ended up hosting them, and you know throwing our first unofficial showcase, which that was really cool. It was at Barcelona. For anyone that doesn't know, Barcelona is like one of the most iconic venues in Austin for just, I mean, it's called the Bass Cave for a reason. Even with my protective earbuds, it is still like can rattle your freaking soul. But you know the amount of like phenomenal bass artists that have gone through, just legends. You know, it was something that I took to heart, because knowing how important and you know like just what that venue means, and to be able to hold even just an unofficial showcase, it was crazy to me. But I met, you know, after meeting all of Richie's friends, and we stayed really close.
That's awesome.
And so, you know, now me and Cody try to at least go up to New York once a year to go check them out and see what they have going on.
Yeah, that's really cool that he was there in town too in Austin last week.
Yeah. It was all of them. They all came back down.
Revlo.
Yeah, him, Rev, Charlie came again, and Charlie, Rico, and then there was a new addition, Miss Jeannie. Jeannie is a phenomenal female producer up in New York. If you guys don't know, check her out. She's great. Just like promoting all my friends. Hit them all up.
Right. Well, that's good because it's like you're free to like promo or like shout at as many people as you want.
No, yeah, and so like, I've stayed in Brooklyn twice now, but staying there, they're literally like in Brooklyn, all these amazing like just old buildings. You know, they have like these spaces above them, and they just it's not like a bar or like anything. It's like a cool like like a little mom and pop shop or something, or like some sort of like bodega. But like I just love that idea and that thought. I don't even know why.
Awesome. See, and it's cool that we're talking about cities because I never really do that, and I'm glad that I am. Because like even Houston, I love it because you can find a place you've never been to before and didn't know it existed. And, like when I was doing Favor and driving around, like
I bet then you've like found all different kinds of places.
I was like, what the hell? This was here, and like it's weird because I wish it was daytime because it was nighttime and I didn't know where the fuck I was at. Like I was actually kind of scared because there was like this big ass road that dipped like really far down.
You're like, I'm going into the point of no return.
Like I thought I was going to hell, and and it was crazy because like it was like a big like when you get down there finally, it's like woods everywhere, and like there's nice ass houses. And I'm like, damn, like.
But during the day, it's like a whole different story. Like that was so. I'm born and raised here in Houston. I've lived here a majority of my life, and then I've been married and divorced before. But I lived in Killeen, so I would always make that commute from Killeen to Houston, and it was terrifying at night. But then, like during the day, when like it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
You know, when you're like, what the hell? Like at night it would be terrifying. I'm just trying to get from point A to point B. During the day, I'm like, what is this? A winery? A corn maze? What?
A corn maze?
No, seriously, there's a freaking corn maze in Montgomery County. Like I'm trying to go. Like it's like over by like where where they do the Renaissance, like a little bit kind of close by like where the Renaissance, like where they do the Renaissance.
Oh, I know where. That's cool. Wait, I think I might have passed.
There's a freaking corn maze, dude.
Yeah, that's badass.
That like I've been trying for years to get people to go with me, and they're like not down because like I purposely joke like I'm gonna lose you guys and I'm gonna get out and not find you. Like
see, and I've always wanted to, but I swear I'd probably have like a panic attack. Like,
but I feel like if you look like it's like I mean same. Like I get claustrophobic, and then if I felt like oh what's going on. But I think like I feel like if you went with like a group, kind of how like that
like escape room?
Yeah, like they like escape, kind of that same concept, but like if you're with a group, so maybe it's less anxious. And I like that better because I'm like, I would just climb the freaking corn or something. I'm like, all right, we can't do this because I feel like in an escape room, I can't get out of the room until a certain time. I don't like that.
Yeah, and like at least with the corn,
I can yell and somebody can come to me.
Yeah, or you could at least just walk through this shit.
No, that would hurt.
Yeah, but.
You're like, fuck it.
You could say I survived the corn maze and you look all fucking bloody, But yeah, I mean that I like that we're talking about cities because usually this is focused on music, but.
Well, I feel like there's so much that's wrapped around music that people forget about. Like like in order for us to travel and see our friends or to go to these shows, like it's in the in these cities, and I'm a super nerd, so like I'm the girl, like whenever we have enough time I'm like, all right, let's stop at this museum, what's going on with this city, how did it get here, who are the founders, like I genuinely just care, and I don't know why. I just like if we're going on a road trip for Asteria. It's super exciting. Michael's playing Asteria, so it's his first festival. Emmy Swing will be on. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Shout out to Emmy Swing.
Shout out to Emmy Swing.
He's so talented.
He really is an angel in so many different ways. Like I can't. It's a funny story. We'll get back to Asteria, but when I first moved to Austin, I went to a show with a friend. So we were like, we're big Escape the Fate fans, and Michael, his band at the time, Michael Relocate, had opened for them.
Oh,
so
nice.
I'd fallen in love already, like before even knowing anything. So fast forward to a year later, Cody's like, hey, we're throwing shows, we're doing all this. We went from like having one company, ESU Production, to starting another. That's Wyldnights. And Cody picked up the idea, like, you know what, I'm gonna start managing someone. I'm like, what?
Oh, Cody said that?
Yeah, I was like, nice. What are you? Here we go, this white cracker.
This white. Oh my god.
He's not even a cracker, he's a white cracker.
That's hilarious.
Only I can say this, so please do not disrespect my business partner. I'm the only person that can speak to him like this, in this manner.
That's really good the way you did that disclaimer too.
I'm just gonna say that really quick, and if I hear any of you talking about him, you don't want to deal with me. Yeah. Anyways.
And I love Cody too, so if y'all talk shit about him, then I will find you.
I will find you, and I have a certain set of skills, so please do not make me. Oh gosh.
Son of a bitch.
Oh wait. And we're back.
Yeah. Okay, well that's at least it took that long to like fucking fall, Let me just make sure this fucker's
secure
that hoe. It's on tight. Okay, now it's like really. It better fucking not fall.
But I was just like, oh my god, here we go. We're picking up, you know, and what I love the most about Cody is he is like one of the most innovative people that I have ever truly met. Like any and every idea, whether how ridiculous it sounds, it is something that's it's substantial and it's profitable.
Yes.
And you know, so where I come in, it's like, you know, all right, that's a great idea. Let's put that in the thought book. We're gonna come back to that when we have the resources, time, and more manpower, more people.
Yeah, and it's not called THO2 book, right?
No, it's
nice.
Cody at that.
That
hoe over there.
That hoe over there.
That hussy over there.
That C over there.
But so he was like, this is what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. And then I think, you know, he had told me who he was. I didn't put two and two together. Right. I just, you know, all I knew was like, oh, this guy named Michael Swing, super cool. And then when we threw the Blunts and Blondes show, so we were the first ones to bring Michael, to Texas, and we brought him to Capitol, or what was it called?
Yeah, was it
Capitol Bar? Yeah, that's what it's called, Capitol Bar.
So Mike wasn't from Texas at the time?
So Michael Gard. Michael Gard.
Okay. I was thinking of Swing, that's why.
I always say like first names when it comes to artists, I'm sorry about that. Mm-hmm. So Blunts and Blondes were the first one to bring him to Texas. So Michael was there. That was the first time I met Swank. Okay. And then when I realized who he was, I was like, what the, like, I was like losing it. I was like, Cody, what's going on? Like, I feel like I just got catfished. Right. And he's like, what are you talking about? I told you. I was like, no, you didn't. I would remember this. And he's like, and this is like literally a forever me and Cody thing. Cody says he tells me things. He probably does. And maybe like, I don't know. Maybe I don't listen. Maybe I do.
Yeah. Or you're just doing too much. Or
you know what? We're going to go with that one. We're going to go with that one.
I'm just trying to help you out here.
Thank you. See, Cody, listen. But, oh my God. Is this another?
How did they not have a fucking
drive-through Starbucks?
And then this fucks in the way, so I can't even get.
All right, next Starbucks. We're just gonna keep going.
We're gonna, third time's a charm. So let me. There was multiple, and there's always multiple in these areas. So.
I love it so much.
Jesus.
Oh, there's a Vivaldi Music Academy. Hey guys.
Oh, what there is?
Yeah.
It's badass.
I didn't even know that.
I'm gonna have to go there.
I'm a sucker for classical music, so.
Yeah, I love like Handel and Chopin.
Yeah, I had an ex that got me into like very much into classical music because he was a composer, and like so he was like huge about like teaching me music theory. An ex-boyfriend of mine, so he was huge about like teaching me musical theory and like everything. And he was like, "No, you're gonna know. If you're wanting to get into this, you need to know." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
For real, though, like it's.
But I'm glad. I'm so happy that I know that. Like it broadened, just like it opened my mind to so much more like just the thought of like how music's constructed. Yes. You know what I mean? Like just from point A to point B, like creating it to listening to it to you know to distributing it. It was just something really cool.
And I really wish I would have stayed in band and like kept playing the saxophone, because I played alto sax, and it was really cool. Like I loved it. Like I remember for songs that I really liked a lot, like that I wanted to like know how to play, so I could read off it what sheet. I would just write my own sheet music and write all the notes out, and then just do that. And I wanted to keep doing that, like writing just different.
Literally, yeah. My ex tried to teach me that, and I was like, oh, that's too much.
But now I like now I fucking got about like how to do like the key signatures.
I mean, you could still teach yourself.
I know if I get my hands on a saxophone, I could learn the fingering position.
Literally do it, Brett. You need to take Mad Hatter, Brett. Mr. Brett Johnson on a coffee run. He can tell you what you need to know about the saxophone.
Yeah, because I used to be like, dude, I used to be like such a fucking pro at that. Like I loved it, but.
Okay, so yeah, I'm queen of the tangent, so you gotta bear with me. Yeah, so I met Michael, and then after it took me literally, I'm not even joking. Like it took me 3 times of us, like me being in person with Michael, even though like we're on the same team. You know what I mean? Like at this time, you know, Cody's more management. I'm solidifying our hospitality management and just things like that. And so like I'm more so like Cody's assistant in this aspect, learning. Right. It took me 3 times to actually be like, hi, my name's Bianca, I'm part of the team, this is what I do. Like I'm not even joking, and I like to this day like it blows my mind, and me and his girlfriend talk about it. Oh, Erica, she's amazing.
Oh, really?
Just I'm like, it's crazy to think like through and through, I'm number one a fan. I'm a fan of everything that Michael's done, whether it's Emmy Swank to Micah Relocate, just him as a person. And then to wrap my head around like not only am like I'm one of his biggest fans, but like he's one of our artists. He's my friend. Like he's someone I could call and talk to if there's like that need be. So like every now and then that like sense of reflection pops in my head that like, holy crap, like this is my life. Like
right.
Like, what am I doing?
But that's awesome, though, too.
And I'm big on self-reflection, just not self-reflection, but like reflection in general. And so like I said, like to get back to Asteria, so we're you know, we're about to hit the road. And so like I have this whole plan that guys don't know, so you guys are finding out right now. I have this whole plan of where we're stopping and all
premiere.
the pictures we're taking as a family.
This is a world premiere.
World premiere, y'all are screwed.
Y'all are screwed. That's good.
World premiere, we're stopping at every museum.
Man, I want to like tag along.
You're like,
I love museums. That's why. Like nobody ever wants to go to one with me here.
Well, okay, so there's a Van Gogh exhibit. That's where I'm going after this. Like,
oh, really?
Yes.
Nice.
Oh my God, you're more than welcome to come with if you want to go. If you're not doing anything.
I want to, but I have family visiting.
I mean, I think it's gonna be here until like, I don't know. I'll have to look that up. I was like, hold on, let me. Full disclaimer: I don't want to give you false information, but it's gonna be here till a certain period of time. I just don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could always look it up and see when it's gonna be. But another thing I love going to is like symphonies. Like those are fucking
Yo,
fun.
let's freaking go. Like and that was, like I said, back to my you know, ex-boyfriend, which he was phenomenal. He's such a great person. He helped me in so many different ways, but he was, you know, like I said, he was a composer, so he took me to like my first actual symphony. So I think it was like a Vivaldi, and it was, so that's why I saw that. I was like, oh shit, Vivaldi. But it was like Vivaldi, Bach, and Beethoven. And it was something, you know, and it was something crazy, like, you know, something that I'm not knowledgeable in. So to have someone that's just as passionate about music as I am, but in a different, you know, a different genre, it was very enlightening. It was very invigorating too, because it's like something brand new.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have. I feel like that's my biggest problem right now is. So I quit drinking.
That's good.
Yeah, I quit drinking. Pull the Cody Riggs, maybe for like celebrating. Man down. Or woman, or wait, person down. We live in a, yeah, there we go, pimp down. You can be man or woman.
Yeah.
Sorry, we live in a realm where, you know, you identify as what you want to identify.
Exactly.
Don't mean to say man or woman.
This will get fixed, by the way. This fucking problem will get fixed. I swear it will. We need to provide quality coffee. Really.
Yeah, so like I right now I'm having trouble with and nothing against my friends, not to call anyone out, like, or even like, you know, at anybody, but I'm having issues like trying to find like either things or people to like hang out with that doesn't involve and revolve around drinking. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not even like that I can, you know, not that I don't like, you know, it's not like I can't be around it. I just don't want to be.
Exactly.
If I don't have to. Like why? You know, like there's so many more things than just bars, and you know,
right.
and I work in clubs, so like that's, you know, that's business to me. It's different. Yeah. But like, you know, on my off day, do I want to go hang out at a freaking bar with my friends? No, I don't. Mm-hmm. Like, if there's tacos there, taco bar, hell yeah, let's do it. Waffle bar, potato bar, let's do it.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just so, like, museums, and, you know, we have the Greenbelt, going to the Greenbelt. Like, these are the things I've been wanting to do, and, you know, I don't know, I just feel like I'm having a disconnect right now. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's just, like, it's a transition I'm going through, and maybe, you know, I should be more vocal about it to my friends, but I don't know. It's hard. It's hard because, you know, I feel like everybody thinks that, you know, not drinking is easy. It's fucking not. It is not easy. Being in the industry.
You've drank before, like a lot?
Oh yeah. Oh my god. And yeah, I love whiskey. Like, I'm a whiskey girl. So you know what I mean. So like, and I can hold it down with the best of them. Maybe sometimes, I don't know. Not mixing. Cody and Jay will say different, but you know they're liars. I'm just gonna say it right now.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're talking about.
But see, that's good that you did that, because like for me, I noticed that I associate myself with people that don't do the same things I do for their health. You know, like when it comes to drinking or drugs. I mean, like, getting high is a different thing to me. Like, I actually think there's a lot of benefits to it, especially anxiety-wise.
Well, yeah, so people smoking, it's just like, I got, what it was, so before, I've done this before, where but before I was like, all right, I'm just not gonna drink for a month. And it was more so, I probably did something to myself, and I was trying to prove to, like, I say myself, but trying to prove to my family and my friends, like, oh, look, I don't have a problem, I can quit drinking for a month, like, blah, 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 blah. But then I would go right back into that cycle, you know, and then nothing ever changed. In that month, it was just like, cool, I just detox, like, that's what it was like. And this time around, it wasn't anything I did. It was 2 experiences with 2 friends, close friends. One where, like, we were in a life and death situation, and then the second one where it just, like, that person was really angry, and, you know, but it was alcohol induced. You know, and I was trying to, like, rationalize with, you know, in both situations, but because alcohol was involved and in, you know, severity in their system, like, there was no rationalizing. You know, and then in there I was just, you know, and then talking about it, you know, and I understand not everyone's going to have, like, that humility factor, you know, and especially if they're, you know, no one wants to be brought up what happened. I never liked when someone's like, oh, you did this. I'm like, whatever, you know. cool, you know, do it again the next weekend. But, you know, and that was something that I wanted to talk about with my friends, and they just, like, the first thing was like, oh, well, I was just drunk, sorry. And then in there, I was like, all right, fuck no, like, that's not an excuse.
Right.
And then everything clicked in me, like, what my family had always said, what my friends were saying, like, no, it wasn't, it's not an excuse. So it was more so like, okay, I want to show myself that, like, I can do this. And it was for just me. And then I hit that month marker, and I'm, you know, almost to 2 months. And, you know, and then now it's more so like showing my friends, like, you know, everyone's like, oh, it's this hard, you don't get it. No, I do get it, because I'm doing it. You know, and you're talking to a girl that is in and out of clubs because that's my lifestyle that I chose. It's the profession I'm in. You know, like, that's my job, and I love it. You know, so, like, I do understand. What people understand is, you know, like, it's so much easier to, like, to not deal with things. It's so much easier to like, you know, let it go and, you know, drink it away. It's harder to deal with it. It's harder to face it. It's harder to, like, face yourself, face, you know, whatever's happening, whatever, you know, within that's causing, you know, that inclination to drink. But so it's like I'm standing up for myself, and I want to show other people that within the industry that we're in, you don't have to drink. You don't. You really don't. To have a good time, hell yeah, do it. If that's what you like to do, that's what, you know, that's what floats your boat, hell yeah. But to, like, the people that are destructively doing it, you know, and they're hiding behind it because of the you know, the environment we're in, like, it's not okay.
Exactly.
Like, it's really not, and it's not an excuse. And I think that was my biggest thing, was showing people, like, look, this is what I'm doing, and yes, we're not the same people, but if I can work in a venue, and I can, believe me, I got the world's worst story too, you know, I got, like, you know, I'm not saying I got you beat, but, like, I can tell you some fucked up shit, but here I am, you know, really trying to be the best I can be, and it's, you know, it's just, it's hard living in general. It's hard with the way the society is. It's hard how people treat each other. It's hard how we treat ourselves. It's hard just in general, period. But I feel like, you know, we all are a lot stronger than we give ourselves.
Right.
And, you know, when you surround yourself with people that believe in you, and, you know, and truly believe in you, you know, like,
Bitch.
This GoPro does not believe in me.
It doesn't believe in both of us, apparently.
You're being so rude, GoPro.
I know, and I swear to God, if there's not a fucking...
I know, I think this one is a drive-through.
Is it?
Yeah, I saw cars.
Please, dear Lord, thank God. See, third time's a charm. I knew it.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah, okay, good. So, that was a hell of a rant, by the way. I'm so sorry.
No, it's not. It's literally I blame this GoPro. It has its own mind.
It does have a mind of its own.
It's because we're talking about not drinking. The GoPro's like, I'm drunk.
Right?
How dare you talk about my lifestyle?
If you want to tape it down more, I don't know if it'll help, but it probably won't help.
Start taping. FYI, guys, the GoPro is taped down, secured, Scotch tape.
Shout out to Scotch tape or tape.
Shout out. Please sponsor me.
Right? You'd be a sponsor, like
sponsor
a good,
Wyldnights.
I know you'd be a good spokeswoman for, like, everything. It's just crazy.
I just started hitting everyone up. Yo.
Oh, let's see what. Oh, never mind. That's
yeah. Oh, here we go. To get our nails done in the back door.
Right. Dude,
I actually just got mine done. So, matte black. I love it. I love matte.
That looks cool.
Thank you. I just started getting my nails done. I had an awesome friend. I think I was complaining about my nails because I just painted them and they were chipped. And I was, like, so bummed about it. I was like, I put time and effort into this, blah, 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 blah. My friend was like, why don't you just get your nails? I'm like, your girl was broke. I pinched pennies, blah, blah, blah. So my friend asked for my Venmo. I'm like, why? Didn't even think anything of it. Next thing you know, and it literally said, like, you work so hard, go get your nails done. And so since then, and then with the not drinking, like...
You treated yourself. That's good.
So now, yeah, every 2 weeks, maybe 3, we'll see, depending on the color of my nails, how fast they grow. Yeah, I go, it's like a little me time. There's a Goodwill by my nail place, so, like, I go get my nails done, hit up the Goodwill, see if there's anything, like, new to thrift, which there usually isn't.
Right? But that's pretty badass, because, like, I've been starting to do the same. Do you know what you want, by the way? Because there's a car behind me now.
Yes.
I'm gonna get the Cloud Macchiato, because that shit looks good.
Wait, actually, just joking, you're, like, saying things I don't.
Look at that. That looks fucking good.
Actually, that looks really good. I'm gonna try that too.
Alright, so we'll get that.
It's all about trying new things today.
Do you want a small or a medium, or? I might get a small, but I'm not sure.
I'll get a medium.
Alright.
I'm trying to get jacked up on some coffee. So, fun fact. In Crosby, my best friend growing up, she and my neighbor, she worked at Starbucks all through high school. So, like, really, yeah, and so we always had, like, she always had the hookup. So she's like, also all those, like, all the flavors that they pump in, she would...
Starbucks,
hi.
Yeah, let me get 2 grande Cloud Macchiatos.
Would you like them hot or iced?
Do you want yours hot or iced? I'll take one of them hot.
Yeah.
And then, well, two of them hot.
Yeah, too hot.
Let me have both of them hot.
And are you looking for the caramel or cinnamon?
Do you want caramel or cinnamon?
Caramel.
Both caramel on both.
Caramel.
Okay.
All right.
And that's it.
It's $10.72.
All right. I feel like they raised prices.
Well, I mean, I feel like as time goes, they need to.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I want to say that before we, because we're not gonna end this yet, but in case, okay, so my battery's like at 1 bar, so if this does cut off, then I'm gonna try to see if there's a way we can do another one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here till tomorrow.
Yeah, and plus I could always charge it, so maybe even on the way to your friends.
No, yeah, I mean, we're totally good. But yeah, so like my friend, she used to work at a Starbucks, so like we literally, she'd be like, all right, you guys roll through, you know, order or whatever, and we were just like, we'd sorry Starbucks, but I'm not telling you her name, but yeah, we grew up getting all the free Starbucks.
That's awesome. I mean, shout out Starbucks. Oh, and you just reminded me, I gotta fucking get a card. I had their card somewhere.
You have a Starbucks card?
No, I need one. I had it, but I think I left it at home.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know, but I mean, you can get another one, right? You just ask.
I think so. I don't even know how that works.
I just know if you get a card, you just present it every time, and then you get like.
It's like
stars.
a rewards.
Yeah, you get stars, and after like so many
God.
stars, you get like a free drink or something.
All right, I might need to get one then, because like when I travel, like this like in the airport, Starbucks are my go-tos.
Yeah.
They have like this matcha tea.
Oh wow.
Oh my god, I love matcha.
See, and I can't like wait until. See, I should have been having the card this whole time, because if I went on 41 coffee runs, that's like a lot of free shit. And I had the card, I just didn't know where the fuck it was at. I don't know, but regardless.
That needs to be added to like when you get ready, like on the,
right?
the coffee run list.
Coffee run checklist, right?
There you go.
Coffee checklist.
Coffee checklist.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'll make sure to do that.
And I'll remind you.
Coffee checklist.
I'm like really good about like organizing things and like reminders.
That's good.
I'm like, hey, I remember that conversation we had 3 weeks ago. I haven't forgotten, just letting you know.
That's good, because I like sometimes forget. Or, well, really, my biggest like flaw is time. I'm so bad. Like I'm always late to everything.
Same. There's like, it's like a funny thing. Like I read so many things. It's like, oh, people that are like, late or like have messy rooms or like the most intelligent, blah blah blah. Which in my head, I'm like, well, one, I could tell you I'm late. I either slept in for as long as I could and gave 0 fucks to get up, or 2, I legitimately have a million and one things going on that I'm actually seriously late.
Yeah, that's.
And I wish, and I mean, and there's not enough hours in the day. Like it was like something that whenever I first started college at Lone Star, I had a professor give us a sheet of paper, and it had, Monday through Sunday literally from midnight to fucking 12 to 12, and in it was 30-minute increments, and he goes, all right, so everyone's so busy, he's like, now write your schedule down, write your life or whatever. He's like, show me where you don't have time to do homework. And then you're like, oh fuck, damn, he's got me there.
Yeah, because now you have to do it,
because you see, but like being able to see that time, and like even just breaking it down into 30-minute increments, like that's, I mean, I literally live like minute by minute, minutes, day by day,
That's interesting too.
And it's, I try not to get ahead. I get overwhelmed easily. Right. And I say easily because I in my head I try to take on the world, and then it's like, all right, Bianca, calm down. Take on a small pebble before you try to take on the world. Yeah,
for real though.
So that's something that I've been trying to get like better at, and I hate looking at things like, like a downfall. Like, yes, we have strengths, we have weaknesses, but like when you're with something that you're weak at, you could easily practice and build that strength up. So I've been trying to make like conscious steps and decisions to be more time, like with my time, be more efficient, and then to be just like time management, utilize my time a lot better.
Exactly.
So like time that goes hand in hand, but like me efficiently, like I can go on forever on anything, or it takes me forever to do something. It's like, so trying to do that in a timely manner, and then knowing, okay, like if I have something important to be or somewhere to something to do, to make sure that I'm there, which is really hard.
Yeah, and I've been trying to do the same in a way. Like I've been trying to kind of show up early. What helps though is, and this is what gets my ass going, is if I know I have a show to play and I have to be there at that time, then like I make sure that I do that. Hello? Yes, I was wondering, could I also get like, do y'all offer the Starbucks card where you can like swipe it to get like stars and all that?
Yeah.
Can I get one of those?
You have to have the app to actually be able to do that.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So like I can't get the card and then like you just
gotta get the Starbucks app and then you can register your card online.
Well, yeah, because I have the app already, but
Sorry?
I already have the app, but like I have it downloaded, so that's why I was wondering like how to get the card.
I'm pretty sure there's like a link on there. You can go to the Starbucks Gold rewards, and they'll send you, if you apply for it and register for it online, they'll send you a gold card.
Oh, okay, cool,
wow,
nice. All right, so I'll go ahead and do
card.
that. There you go.
I want the gold card.
That's been. I thought you could just because before you just asked for it.
You know, technology nowadays, everything's you gotta go to an app.
Yeah, and like the thing is, before, like if you just had a gift card, then you didn't even have to like reload it. You could just use swipe that. I mean, you could still reload it, but yeah, like I just used it for the stars thing.
Dude, I'm trying to get my stars, dude.
Right? Your star.
Would you like stoppers, please?
I'm sorry. You want stoppers?
No.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Thanks, Thomas.
Thank you. Thank you. The Fault in Our Stars. Man, I'm gonna drink the shit out of this.
I know, me too.
Like seriously.
I'm like over here investigating. Oh wow.
Wow, that looks fucking. You're like wow.
Wow.
I'm gonna park somewhere so that way we
Yo,
can
look at
enjoy
that
this.
Ringo Starr shirt, dude.
Fuck yeah.
That's so rad.
I'm a really big fan of the Beatles, by the way. I don't know if you know. I don't know if anybody knows, but like.
Oh no, tell me. Like, you know what? I feel like we don't know much about each other, so what?
I know. So the Beatles, I discovered it. Well, I didn't discover. I knew about them, but like.
Yeah, I manage them. I manage the Beatles.
I used to manage John Lennon, but yeah, like I didn't really get into them until 2008 because it was after like a girl that I really liked. You know, we both stopped talking. And my favorite song is actually one that nobody knows because like a lot of their songs, like almost every song they have is a hit, so everybody knows like all their hits. But it's a song called "And I Love Her," and I really love that song. That's like my favorite song from them because it's literally about like a guy that's saying how much he loves this girl, this woman. So like that's my favorite song for them, other than just like "Hey Jude," and there's like a few more I'm trying to remember that I can't because there's so many good ones.
I feel like so like a lot of my favorite bands, like especially the ones that people know, like it's same thing. Like it's not the hits that that get me in. Maybe that's what like drew me in. You know, like oh dang, I like this song or like whatever. But like discovering and going through like that album, I feel like if you have the chance with any of your favorite artists and you can go through their album or their EP and not just taking one song, one popular song, but listening to them all, it is a beautiful thing because because you're able to see because one song is not going to show you their sound design or anything of of their craft. Like being able to listen and go through all of their music. And I feel like beforehand I never did that. I was like, oh, I'm like that one hit. Yeah, all those hits, whatever, the one everyone knows. Oh no, you're good. But it's once I got into just artist hospitality and management is when and then A&R work and just things like that, like but listening to music and having to like at least knowing what I'm listening to and having to do all that. I found a whole different appreciation for art, for all artists, not just producers, like all artists. So I guess all artists are producers, right?
I would say
I feel like
if they make music, then yes.
Because we loosely say producers, but when we're talking about DJs, so I guess I love all producers.
Yeah, because DJs still have a craft to where they follow like their own little thing, and but like you said, I completely agree because that's one thing I was going to touch upon is like if there's a song that you like from a band and it's just one song, check out their fucking album because there's two good examples of this. Gorillaz, which I love them. Like when I heard Clint Eastwood. That's all I needed to like hear and to like check out their whole and their fucking album was great.
No, that literally I want to say that was what that's what got me too.
Yes, it's like that, and I mean I love them. Like ever since that song, I just loved them. And then also Demon Days, which is another great album, which I thought that was like their best album. But then Plastic Beach came out, and I'm like, holy fuck! On Melancholy Hill, which is like the one song that'll bring me to tears, probably is like their best song now, and I'm like, fuck, that's like. Probably my favorite. Well, I don't know. It's between that and Demon Days, but
it's so hard. I feel like when I hate like picking favorites, I genuinely love everything. Like I'll love some things more than others, but like equally, I love everything.
Yes.
But no, like I oh my god, there's so many songs that have led me to albums that I shit you not that have changed like whether it's like that point in time in my life with whatever I was going through or just changed my perspective in general. And I think that's the most powerful thing. And I feel like that's why I'm so passionate about music. It's just like my past and what I went through. Like growing up, it wasn't easy. It was a lot of bad things happened, which has led me to now, to take the platform that I have with, I'm studying sociology. So as far as so not many people know that.
I took that class.
I'm in school for sociology. But that's why mental health and just it's a huge thing to me because that's something that I suffer with. I'm someone that.
Both do.
And the thing is like people don't understand like that mental health issues you know, those things are, you know, they're either derivative from, you know, something that did happen, you know, something that was, you know, very traumatic, or it really just is just the way chemically you know you are. That's
genetically,
just,
I guess.
Yeah, like I guess it would be genetically, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because I mean, some people said it could be hereditary, but it's actually genetically, I believe.
So like, and I mean, I've spent the last 9 years figuring out and trying to heal from, you know, so I grew up sexually abused, and so that's why, like, that's a big platform for me. You know, when we did the Women's Strong event, you know, I was in general, I was already behind it, because the biggest thing that we could do is, you know, is to uplift our women. You know, not just like every woman that needs and should be, you know, and should feel empowered. You know, equally everyone should, but I just want to say, as a woman.
That's true.
You know, and so, like, you know, knowing that it went, you know, to the charity that it went through, you know, it really, it was something that got me. Like, it brought up a lot of, like, feelings. Like, I get choked up about it, but I love talking about it, though.
Mm-hmm.
But it brought up a lot of feelings, you know. Just, it reminded me that this is stuff like this, doing things like this, you know, raising money for charities, especially, you know, battered women and abused, like women that, you know, go to these shelters. If we aren't there to raise that money, they're forced to go back to where they came from. And then that makes me think of, like, growing up, you know, just my situation, you know, and that like that it reminds me that, you know, if we don't support these women, then, you know, then it's not necessarily, you know, society's fault, but we do play a factor and role, and we can help these women not go back to, you know, to these lifestyles, you know, the abuse, you know, violence. Like, that's what children are being raised upon, and, you know, and they're forced to see, you know, their family go through this when it doesn't have to be that way. But at the same time, if we don't help provide resources and the tools for people to, you know, come out on top, then, like, people are only forced to, you know, be where they are. And
yeah, and it's so true. I mean, like, at the same time, like, for me, my whole issue is, like, my main focus, you know, about advocating, like, to help, you know, dissipate is, you know, depression and anxiety, because, like, that's one thing, those are two things I really suffer with a lot. And, you know, it sucks because whenever
do you get anxious talking about it ever? I always, like,
no,
I want to ask people that.
I actually don't, which is weird because you think I would. But no, I don't get anxious talking about it because I'm so passionate about it to where I need to talk about it. Like, people need to hear this. And, like, it sucks because, like, sometimes I'll meet someone and I'll tell them, like, hey, you know, I suffer from social anxiety. They're like, hey, they're like, no, I completely get it. I do too. Like, I have it all the time. And then you'll see them right after that just go socialize with everyone. And it just kind of offends me because it's like, me, it's so different. Like, me, you will find me anywhere at the back of, like, just at the back of a show. I mean, yes, I can go to the front of the stage because I do it all the time, but, you know, most of the time, you know, if there's nobody I know, or if I'm not talking to anybody I know, then I'm near the back of the stage. I mean, the back of the room, you know, sitting at a table or just chilling. I mean, and that's just me. Like, I've always been the one that's kind of like, I don't know, not really been the outcast, but outcasted myself.
Oh, I feel that.
And as far as like depression goes, like, it's really important to me because, you know, you definitely need to take those steps to get help. I know it's hard to, like, to kind of, like, try to do it yourself as far as, like, getting motivated to do it, but if you know you're depressed and have it, then you should definitely try to take the steps to do it, because no one's gonna, like, force you.
And that was another reason why why me not drinking was so important. You know, like, there's I feel like people actually don't know me. I'm such a private person. I really am. Like, what you see online is that's like I said, that's all my resume. What you see online is what I want you to see. It's my job. You know what I mean? Like, it's you know, it's a role that I, you know, that I fulfill to the fullest. But it's like, me as a person, you know, my support group, my team, my family, you know, my people know exactly what I go through. And so, you know, it's not like drinking. I would tell myself, and I thought I could convince myself and everyone, you know, around me, like, no, this helps with my anxiety, it helps with my depression. But in reality, it only made it worse. You know, even if I wasn't thinking or talking about whatever it was that was upsetting me, like, somewhere down the line, I could be, you know, at the venue with my friends and the music's playing, and for a split second, because I'm vulnerable or drunk, like, you know, that feeling pops up, and then you're under an influence, so you can't control yourself, you know, and so it just, you know, I've been, not like preaching, but I've been, you know, taking these steps to take care of myself and heal, and now I want to help other people, but I realize, like, I can't help anybody if I'm just a hypocrite. If I'm sitting here saying, don't drink, don't do this, it's not helping you, but yet here I am, drinking, doing this, you know, and I'm trying to advocate something that I'm completely, you know, going against. So I wanted to be the change that I know that you know, that it can be around. You know, I want people to feel comfortable, to, like, it's weird. I want people to feel comfortable being uncomfortable. I feel like we get so
cool.
uncomfortable with our anxiety and depression that we just push it away. We don't don't talk about it, we either suppress it, or we drown it with something, you know. When we aren't even taking the time to just feel it. Like, I'm such a passionate person, and I used to think I was crazy because like there's a lot about me. So like I want to say like I'm a hoot. I really am multiple characters. But the ex I was talking about, the classical music guy, he you know, I would always feel like I'm crazy, you know, whenever I would go into these mental, just kind of like episodes, I'll call them, you know. And so like, and he was the guy. It's funny to think about it now. Like I'm growing up, I used to lock myself in a closet, and that's where I'd feel safe. So when I go through like really bad anxiety attacks or episodes, I lock myself in a closet. It's the only, I don't know, it's weird, but it's the only thing that will calm me down. Wow. And he was someone that was on the other end of that closet. And I've had other friends do this too, but he instilled in me, like, Bianca, you're not crazy, you're just very passionate. He's like, about everything, but you're just very passionate. And you know, when I let that resonate and I thought about it, then I was able to romanticize my depression, because it's actually a fucking beautiful thing. I feel harder than anyone ever can or will. And yeah, my highs are fucking high and my lows are low, but you know what's a beautiful thing? That like the three depths that we know: the ocean, space, and our minds. So that means if after a depressive episode I come out on top and okay, I got myself out of the darkest place from within. Nobody else did that.
Yeah. And you know what's great about depression is, and it's weird because you don't think about somebody saying it's great, like the weird beautiful darkness of it is when you go to the darkest pit of your mind, that becomes the spark of your creativity. Wow, that sounded so fucking good. But still,
you're like, whoa, I just fucking shook myself. You guys, I got chills.
No, because I never say shit like that, so that's weird. Well, I haven't done that.
Honestly, I mean, I feel like, and this topic is something that, you know, that I feel like it really brings a lot more out of me, you know, talking about it, you know. And it's because we are all, and I was talking actually on the bus about someone this. I was talking about this exact conversation.
Really?
Yeah, she was. I was like, don't laugh. I always straighten my hair on the bus.
Okay.
There's outlets, because it's either I'm always running late, so it's either take the time to straighten my hair and be late and miss my bus and have to catch another one, or I'm like, oh, I'll just put my straightener in my backpack and straighten my hair on the bus. So I was like talking to her, and she's like, oh, what are you getting ready for? And I was telling her what I was doing, and she was like, I was like, yeah, you know, I'm working on, like, I got a project and I'm working on this YouTube channel. She's like, well, what's it about? And so I was telling her, and she was just so interested, and we got into, she's pre-med, so we got into mental health and like what she wanted to go to school for, and so she wants to get into psychiatry. So it was just
that's what I wanted to do.
So it's just crazy how, like, you know, like that conversation of this led to that. But I was just telling her, you know, that like depression's like this secret club that we're all in, but no one's willing to acknowledge it, and it's not cool to be in. You know, and then like and like I feel like half the times I've ever been ostracized for something that I'm dealing with that's within me. What it is, it's other people not understanding what they're going through. So it's just like, it's, you know, it's them just projecting, you know. And when I talk about my depression, like, or, you know, I'm talking about something and someone can connect, like, I'm not there attacking you, I'm just sharing, you know, I'm speaking my truth to you. And if you feel a certain way, hell yeah, I'm here to talk about it. But for someone to make other people feel bad because they don't understand themselves is something that I'm completely against.
And the thing is too, one thing that I notice, and it sucks because like it's spread to like some of my own friends, is when they do admit they have a problem, the solution they want to find, some of them they reject because, you know, okay, so I'm gonna say this because it, like, you know, this is true, but Mexicans and Hispanics. Yep.
You don't have to like finish it. I'm like, boom. That's all I had to say.
We're very prideful. So
prideful and very private. Even if it's something that, like, what's funny is we're prideful and private, even though the whole fucking family knows what's going on, but no one's talking about it. But guess what? You all know. That's why y'all are whispering. But no, yeah. And so like I want to say, like, that's one of the biggest stigmas behind like me. You know, I feel like one, my family wasn't. I see my family, my immediate family, was not as supportive as, you know, because like it happened within my immediate family. So you know, it wasn't until I stepped out. I want to say I moved out when I was like 16, 17, and so like, you know, then my grandmother and that side of the family stepped in. But you know, everything was, we don't talk about this, you know, you know, so whatever, sorry it's happening.
They're like, get over it.
You know, no, exactly. And like, and that was what was, no, so then nobody understood why I was doing drugs. Nobody was understood why, you know, I was getting, you know, I was in and out of jail, I was in trouble, and it was literally cries for help. And in my family, because of the stigma of, you know, I want to say being, you know, just coming from a Hispanic, you know, Mexican culture, it's, you know, it's that, you know, we don't need help, we're fine, let me just pray on it, put a fucking lemon on it, you'll be fine. Spray some Windex, you're good.
Rub the egg.
Yeah, no.
Dude, seriously, like rub the egg and then crack it and see what the devil's on.
No, literally. Boom, you got a host. That sucks.
What?
It's like, but you never heard of that? Oh my God. There's like a meme about like Mexican families. But it's like, literally, it's like you do this, and that. If you don't do this, boom, you have ojos for life.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that one.
Ojos
That's fucking hilarious.
Not a joke.
It's just fucking crazy, though.
One time I had a rash, my grandma was like, someone cursed you got ojos. I'm like, oh my God. Literally, what they said, rub an egg on it.
Yep.
What the?
You have to rub an egg. That's just how you're.
I don't. I'm like, so is it like protein on protein? What's going on? I'm confused.
It's just,
like,
you gotta be an egg rubber, you know?
But you know, and I want to say, and I'm so grateful. I'm happy with my grandma, my great grandma. Those are my great. I still have my great grandma, my grandma. They're the strongest women that I've ever met in my life. My great grandma had, I want to say, I think 13 kids.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
She got busy.
And I know, stop. Ew.
No, I'm just.
She's an angel.
No, but I'm saying like.
No, but when I think about that, I'm like, grandpa. But then we're like, oh, we're raised Catholic, so you know, it's kind of.
But I mean, plus at least you know they were both healthy.
Very, very. You know, so I have a huge family. When I say huge, I have a huge. So that means like.
I do too.
So my grandma's one of those children, and I'm my great grandma's great grandchild. So you know, so there's like our lineage is insane. You know, so like
there's like, because my mom's dad had like 8 kids, so like you're not the only one that.
Yeah. So and you know, so like, and I never liked being quiet to begin with. Even like, and as a child, like, so I harbored all this sin growing up. Nobody even knew until I was probably like, until I filed charges. So I think I was 20 years old the first time I ever told anybody that something had happened. And the first time anything had happened, I was 7. And it went from 7 to 15 until I was like, fuck this. I literally could take care of myself living on the fucking streets than living in the household that I am, you know, with what's happening. You know, and so like, you know, taking those steps to figure out who I was and stand up for myself, like, I'm starting to cry thinking about it because like, I love this woman so much. My grandma, like, she never left my side. Her and my brother, you know, they didn't make me feel bad for standing up for myself. You know, they believed me. They you know, every time I had court, because I went through 2 criminal court trials in my family. You know, my brother he lived in California at the time. He flew in, my aunt flew in, you know, but this was a lot for my family. But I want to say, like, I wasn't the first one this has happened to, like, not from this person, but like in general, you know, I was just the first person that stood up against, you know, against this. And to hear my family members, to hear friends, you know, tell me what they've gone through, it blew my mind, you know, to have my family let me know, like you really, like, you're going to change the world because you care to open your mouth and share to people what you've gone through. And like, you know, my grandma, like, has never made me feel bad about anything. She's, you know, instilled in me that, you know, sometimes even the devil can get the angels, but the angels rise above, and just things like
That's
that.
awesome.
Like, she just, you know,
so cool.
reminding me that, like, I can do this. And because of her, I've, you know, endured 2 criminal court trials. I'm, you know, starting a project that, you know, pertains to, you know, bringing awareness to mental health and sexual violence. I'm working and partnering with, you know, nonprofits as far as, you know, trying to become the face of this, because, you know, you would never know at all, like I said, by looking at my social media, all this stuff, that this is what I've gone through. And it's okay. I don't need the, you know, I'm not here to like capitalize or publicize it until like I want to utilize this information. But having that support system is the only reason I feel like I was able, I want to say safe enough, and had the freedom to find who I am, to find my way through my mental health, to find my way through this crazy industry and world. And, you know, and that's, if I can, you know, stress that to anybody, not just this industry, in life, please, please, please build your support system. That system will never fail you. It doesn't matter what happens. Like, I've gone through hell and back, and there was times, a moment like where I just was like tripping acid for like a solid year. And I remember like calling my family, my grandma and my brother, talking to them. And like, I'm not proud, like, I'm not glorifying that, but what I'm saying is having a support system, be on that other end. And I'm sure they were terrified, not knowing what was going on, but they knew that I needed them, and they were there. And to this day, they don't look at me any differently. My grandma still looks at me like I'm just like, like God, heaven sent, I swear. And because of that, like I try very hard. Like if I am damn good at what I do, and if I have the work ethic I have, it's because of my grandma. It's because I want to make this one person that believed in me. That is the reason why I shit you not, I have not taken my life. I've never, you know, never really done those things to the extent that I know I could have. It's because of her. And because of her, I'm able to change a lot of like change a lot of the, you know, stigmas around me, and I'm able to influence a lot of people.
Give me a hug, because that's like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in a coffee run.
She
and you almost made me cry.
I try, and that's why, like, you know, whenever I was giving, you know, the speech about knowing your role, it's, you know, it's knowing what's real. Like, I know at any point in time I can call that woman, and I try as much as I can, because, you know, tomorrow's promised to no one, but, you know, letting her